and welcome to FCBA 2021. Another very interesting panel, one of the panels which is very close to heart of most of the bankers because everything we do, so this is the panel on automating the customer experience and taking experience to his new heights. Let me in this panel introduce you to our moderator for the day. He is Mr. Vikrant Pongshe. Mr. Vikrant Pongshe is the former MD of Cosmos Bank. Apart from being as a career banker with several organizations, including Barclays and others in different parts of the world, and after his career as the MD of a cooperative bank, he has also been very actively engaged with the fintechs and the technology companies. Vikram, welcome to this session with us.
Thank you so much, Babu. Pleasure as always.
I would like to hand over the baton to Vikrant.
Greetings of the day, all of you. And in no particular order, let me start with the ladies first. On the panel we have today Ajita Bapat. Ajita started her career with Saraswat Bank. She was in the risk department of Saraswat when they set up the risk department. And most importantly, she has taken a sabbatical and she joined IIM Bangalore to pursue her course in analytics. And now she's back with Saraswat Bank. Yogesh is been a person who is a go-to person when it comes to the cooperative bankers and especially the technological piece of it. He started his career with Orient Pro. He has been with various institutions, the latest being the National NSC IT. And most importantly, a person who understands both sides of the table, meaning he is also the director in Dombivli Nagari Sahkari Bank. So, he has dual hats. And very recently, he has started his own consulting company called K Green Solutions. And welcome, Yogesh, to this show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Gopinath Temkar. Mr. Gopinath Temkar heads the IT of the Bhavsara Kshatriya Cooperative Bank. Hearty welcome, Mr. Gopinath. And there are a lot of banks in Gujarat who are striving to do great and take great initiatives. And Mr. Gopinath is one of them. And not only for his bank, but he's also been looked as a mentor for the other members of the community out there. We also have Dr. Jatin Naik, who is the managing director of the Surat People's Cooperative Bank Limited. And we know it is, one among the largest cooperative banks in the Gujarat state. Surat People also being looked at as a very tech-savvy bank, and most importantly, it is known for its unique offerings that it gives to the customers, not only on the technology front, but also on the innovative product front. The topic today is customer experience, the agility, and Babu and Banking Frontiers have been, putting in that agility in ahead of all of the sessions out there. So what is agility? Agility is responsiveness. It is being flexible and adaptable to the changing times. That is what is more important in the agility. So when you talk about the Six Sigma or we talk about agile, what is important here is what are those frugal small steps or what are those adaptive things that banks can do for customer experience. And that being topic, before we move on, we all know the typical nuances of the customer relationship handling and the customers of cooperative banks. But before we move that, Yogesh, I would like to come to you. The cooperative banks have survived through their strong customer relationship that is known to us. But of late, we see that due to the frauds or, the PMC, I don't mind naming it, but due to do you think there has been a slight eroding trust in the cooperative banks?
As you said, sir, now today hacking has been across the globe and across the domains. So earlier it was only financial primarily, but now we are seeing the cases of all the domains being attacked or hacked. So the cooperative banks being part of the world. Cooperative banks primarily, as you said, the customer relationship is a backbone of the entire cooperative sector, because we can say it for the people, of the people, by the people. Last few years, we are seeing some incidences over cooperative banks actually in terms of attacks, hacking incidences, or some internal frauds as well. See, providing a service is one, and providing a technology at the same time, that trust that my assets, my whatever deposits I have kept with the bank, that has to be secured. So that trust will definitely develop as we enhance our communication with the customers. So what we have done actually during the pandemic, even as a cooperative bank, as I mentioned, that it is owned by the shareholders. So we proactively did a lot of things for the customers during the pandemic. For example, for senior citizen, if we can offer the primary banking at their doorstep so that they don't come out and they don't put themselves in the risk. So what we have done for the debit card holders of our bank, we have introduced a card control system. So what it does is, on a single SMS, you can unlock your card, or you can block your card. Because most of the time, all or majority frauds are related to this debit cards or ATMs and all those things. So we have done cautiously, we have taken this decision and introduced this system. More importantly, beyond this also, we are allowing customer to define their own thresholds. Okay, how much transaction I can do per day or per month, that kind of thresholds we are allowing customer himself to define. So we are doing various campaigns around this. So this is one initiative. We are taking multiple such initiatives like analytics and all, which are basically to strengthen the relationships and get them the comfort that they are with the right bank and they are banking with. Thank you.
Excellent, Yogesh. Excellent. I think you drove a lot of very good points, because customers' trust is what is most important. But having said that, I mean, what comes to my mind, Mr. Gopinath, is while technology automates the processes, and the personality, and the personal interactions by the officers, bringing in better experience. How do you create a blend of both? I mean, for example, if you look at it, the youth do not come to cooperative banks as of now. So is there a possibility, because in cooperative banking, you cannot just have a physical contact only, or you cannot go to digital only. So you need to possibly have a blend of both to give the customer experience. So how do you think, the technology can automate these processes and things? Your take on that, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I will thank you, Banking Frontier, for inviting me as a panelist. Actually, I'm representing a non-scheduled cooperative banks in India. Around 1,500 banks are there. Here, the problem, as you said rightly, a technology introduction in the bank is the most important. But if personal touch is also kind of a things which is continued for the cooperative banks. Say now RBI and others, central government or governments, they are talking about introduction of this customer services, financial inclusion, particularly financial inclusion. But cooperative banks, they have started this from the day one. Cooperative banks have started this from the day one. Actually, right. Banking is nothing but a client business, and we have moved from technology introduction 25, 30 years ago to the ATM and mobile banking. But the age-old technology, what the banks have adopted, now the most of the cooperative banks, they have adopted core banking, but the technology adaptation, digital banking and all those things, it is not penetrated into all the non-scheduled cooperative banks. That is the one most critical area where we are not able to attract the young customers. Actually, I have studied most of the banks' database where the millennials, after 2000, who are born after 2000, millennials, they have got the total customer share with the millennials is just 8 to 10% in the bank. So this is the most alarming situation where we are facing the issue. So what we can do is introduce technology, attract the young customers, and we can even give a human touch. Just like that, I will share you. After opening an account with the eKYC or vKYC, we can call the customer, and or we can send a personalized letter from the chairman, or we can say thank you for opening an account. These are all the things we can introduce. Because and other thing is we can bifurcate customers based on the AI, and we can communicate to them. Say most of the senior customers they require personal touch,
Right.
and these young customers they don't want to come to the bank. They will require technology touch. But even young customers, they require personal touch when it comes to financial needs, just like investments, borrowings, and all those things. So those things we can introduce with the kind of a chatbot or voice bot. Recently, the voice bot has evaluated. Voice bot you can introduce. Even with the voice bot technology, if it is available in a feature phones, just by calling IVRS numbers, voice bot technology, just like an Alexa, when it can answer, even the senior customers will be more comfortable rather than using a smartphones. So that kind of initiatives we can introduce. And other thing is we have to make the employees more happy and get a feedback from them, because they are the first hand that means inside employees who are giving a service to them. So we can take a feedback from them and make the experience of the customers more friendly. And other thing is, with the introduction of this BI tool, as I said, we can bifurcate the customers, and with the latest customers who wants to go with the technology, we can give them a technology touch. And the customers who are not using a smartphones or just using a feature phones, we can give them a personal touch. Here I would like to say, people listen with their ears, but they hear with their emotions. If we do not engage with our customers in real, personal way, then we are just another banker for them. Bankers are easily replaceable with better and cheaper options. However, customers are much less likely to consider replacing people with human value, where they have real relationship.
The relationship is the most important key everywhere. And most importantly, Mr. Gopinath, I think what you have driven is very important. We should stop, listening, and they should start hearing us. And at the same time, it's the emotion that needs to come out. It's not just the voice of customer, it's the emotion of customer that we need to pay particular attention to. Dr. Jatin, now what we see is many times, the so-called old people, they have adopted to technology. So, what I would want to ask you is, in your experience, have cooperative banks been using WhatsApp chatbots or robotics in their interaction with the customer? And how has these been, what has been the reaction of the customer, and what are the learnings, if you have any, from them?
Thank you, Vikrant. Nowadays, what happened, technology is an inevitable to any banking industries. In last year, World Forum Economic, Bill Gates announced that banking is necessary, not a bank.
Absolutely.
So the least service available on WhatsApp for non-banking customers, write to us directly using the channel, any product available for any user to apply directly, advance with their minimum requirement and all, ATM and branch information, contact center, frequently asked banking query also available for the user on chat, information on COVID-19 relief packages, donate towards PM CARES fund. And for customer, it is available on check account balance, check recent transaction, avail loan against fixed deposit, place checkbook request, report unauthorized transaction, view digital banking, manage debit card, and so on. So what exactly is WhatsApp chatbot for banking? Simply, chatbot on WhatsApp is a software running on the messaging applications.
Okay.
The chatbot is powered by a defined set of rules or artificial intelligence in some cases. WhatsApp chatbot is basically designed to have a conversation with human over chat. WhatsApp bots can be used by banks to generate IT leads, offer support, and deliver assistance on the world's most popular messaging application.
Right.
Bank using WhatsApp chatbots enjoy a greater chance to engage their customer, which primarily revolve around three main areas. First one is customer service. A study conducted by Gartner suggested that 85% of banks will be interacting with customer through chatbot in the near future. Second one is alerts and notification. One of the constant struggle that banks and fintech company face is getting their notification and alerts seen by the customer. Sending notification through the WhatsApp application allow the bank to significantly boost their chances of customer opening the notification sent by them. Third one is promotion and direct marketing. Using a WhatsApp bot, banks can directly make to a large number of users by sending direct WhatsApp messages. One of the primary reasons for bank to lose customer is poor customer services. As a result, the banking sector is now gearing towards a pandemic shift in the way customer communication take places. WhatsApp chatbot for banking make your banking service more accessible to the customer. This not only help you retain your customer, but also attract new one to become loyal customer.
Right. No, very true. And I think WhatsApp, see, what is important is people will adopt to what is easy. I mean, how are banks personalizing their messages? I mean, is it relevant to have personalized messages? Or how do we remove the clutter of information that goes from the bank to the customer?
Thank you, Banking Frontier, for having me here today. And it's a very interesting and relevant question, Vikrant. See, because with huge customer base, whatever we have, we can't have one size fits all approach. That is a passe for sure. We have customers from different segments, different demographics, different age. So we can't have same communication going to all customers.
Right.
So what we did was we started with customer segmentation. At the outset, I'll mention we have a dedicated department for customer relationship and engagement. And I head business analytics unit. So we closely work together to get relevant engagement with the customer. For different sets of customers, we have different communication policy. As you mentioned, based on, we use AI ML to an extent where it is required. And here again, I would like to say these complex words need not mean that they offer best of the solutions. After, see, at sometimes simple SQL query with good exploratory data analysis done, we can arrive at logical conclusions. So going back to your questions, we segment our customers as per their relevant clusters, and then we have a dedicated policy for communications policy and product sale policy for each segment. To give you an example, a set of cluster can be for senior citizens. So communication policy and the kind of message, the channels we use are obviously totally different than the millennial customers. But then again, I want to contradict whatever you said before, that cooperatives don't have millennials as their customers. No, we do have. We have seen more than 50% of the new.
Yeah, I mean, what I meant was overall percentage, if you look at it, it's pretty insignificant.
Yeah, I agree. But then we need to have strategy for these millennials as well. So our communication with these customers is again different. So we have another set of customer where re-engagement is required. So there our strategy is different for this set of customer, and frequency and channel, the type of communication is again different. And we have a dedicated AACC department, advertising and corporate communication. So all these three departments work in tandem, speak the same language, because see, for few customers, SMS and email work. For few customers, you need to have them call register. For few customers, you need a dedicated person when they walk in, you need to attend to them.
Right.
So depending on the customer choices, we have a different policy and obviously personalized messages for all set of customers.
Excellent.
I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely, you have. And I think what is really important, Ajita, is yes, you need to have the basics right. So you need to have a customer segmentation policy in place. You need to have and create messages that are bespokely created for the target audience. That is true. It's the approach that is important. But I mean, I hear Yogesh, you had raised your finger and you wanted to add something to it. And I would come to that. But before that, you wanted to add something. So please go ahead, Yogesh.
Yeah. I'll just give you a classic example. We have platinum cards. Okay. Right. So customers having platinum cards. So that platinum cards has multiple options and features available. So when we get to know I'll just give you a classic example. If you have a platinum card, you can enjoy airport lounges at multiple airports. So this was not known to many of our platinum customers. So we sent a hard copy letter to all these customers, and we got a fabulous feedback. And most of our customers, we did not even know that this kind of facility is available at no cost. So I think we have to be proactive in terms of all customers, depending on class of the customer, what service we can give them, what service is readily available. Now we didn't need anything extra, we just communicate. So this communication is also, I think, very important.
Doctor, how do you balance? Many times what people feel is that all these measures are very costly affairs. I mean, is this technology really that costly, or it is something which is much doable? What's your view on this?
You know very well, cost technology is a very expensive tools. See what happened. Ours is 100 years old bank.
Right.
So we are capable to expense anything on technology.
Right.
And our motto is not profit-making bank. So as and when required, we have started our CBS platform on 2007. Way back in 2007. We are right now using, and we have a ASP module also.
Okay.
Now we are thinking to switch over either Finacle or TCS.
Okay.
Looking to the present scenario.
Okay.
But at the same time, we are waiting for this umbrella organization also.
Okay. Perfect. Again, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your inputs. Ajita and Yogesh, I mean, one question I would just want to share with you. Yogesh knows it well. While Yogesh was with NSCIT, I was consulting them, and we created different personas using analytics. And what we have done is we have not looked at the demographics of the customer, but based on the customer behavior, we have to try to create some personas. Yogesh, would you want to briefly talk about the project and how actually it helped the banks in increasing their revenues as well?
Yes. Actually, that entire project was customer centric, or precisely customer behavioral centric. So what we did, whatever transactions that a customer does with the bank, say for last 2 years, so we took that transactions and we did analysis of that transaction, and we got some very fantastic inputs that gave a very, I would say, eye opener for the banks. Number one, what we found is 85% customers, the statistics may vary from bank to bank, but the bank which we did this analysis, we found one observation: 85% of the customers were using only one product of the bank. Now the bank is offering multiple products, even non-banking such as insurance products and all, but we found 85% of the customers using only single product. Second, what we found is 80-20 rule. So 20% of the customers do 80% of the transactions. But the insight was that those customers who were doing more than 50 transactions per month, okay, that transaction volume was very low. The amount volume was very low. That actually gives the insight that my cost of transaction, so in a bank, my per transaction cost is say 30-35 rupees. Now, if a person is doing 50 transactions in a month and highest transaction value is 5,000, we can imagine the cost that my branch is going to, and that's why many of the branches, irrespective of they doing a lot of business, they could not turn into profit because of this. So this was the second insight what we did, and then we suggested the bank, so either you request them to go to lobby or the digital operations, like where you can go to ATMs, or you can go to cash withdrawal machines from where they can either deposit, withdrawal, all these things they can do from e-lobbies. So this was the second insight. Third insight, what we did, that out of all the analytics, what we do is the customers, the behavioral pattern. Okay, so most of the time, as I mentioned, like customer was not coming to the branch but maintaining a huge balance. He is very well connected to the bank, but he is not at all have done any transactions at the branch. Okay, so there is a possibility that he may go away from your branch because the relationship doesn't exist. He has not visited to your branch. So that list of customers that we need to watch out, or these are my premium customers to watch out. So multiple such observations we could derive from that transaction extract, and that actually helps, because today cross-selling, upselling, where will I get the data? Now we have the staff who can approach the customer, but if I give them the list, look, these are the customers who will buy a car loan. They have taken last car 3 years back from your bank only, for your branch only. Now their car is more than 3 year old. This is the list of the bank. Now this kind of inputs if we are able to give to our staff, I think that will be very helpful to the branch.
Right. I think Yogesh, I think what we tried to create there was, not just to give insights, but we try to create prescriptive, actionable insights to the bank so that they could take actions onto it. I'm sure, Mr. Gopinath, you would also have similar experiences and you would want to pitch in on this.
Yes. Actually, as Yogesh said rightly, that is the data analysis is most important thing. Here, the hyper personalization is most important.
Yes.
With the real-time data, generate insights by using a behavioral science and data science to deliver services, products, and pricing of the products. It is also most important. Here, what has happened is a new standard in customer service is evolving. In futures, customers will increasingly be able to expect a highly personalized service determined by their individual requirement instead of based around a set of savings, borrowing, or investment products. I would like to say if you are having a clean data, if you are able to analyze young customers, we can offer them a products where they can go for a mobile consumer loans purchase for mobiles or TV or even an audio system, something like that, or a car loans. If it is a senior citizens, we can give them a pension kind of things or insurance policies for the younger ones, because older generation may not require it. So these are all the kinds of customization we can do it. Indeed, this behavioral science understanding with the granular level, which is a most important thing here. One of the primary reasons for banks to lose customers is poor customer service.
True.
And banking sector now have to turn towards a paradigm shift with the customer communications.
Absolutely. Well said. Ajita, that brings me back to you again. It's very important now that we need to have a mix of physical and digital. We also need to have a customer segmentation, segregation. One size, as you rightly said, there is no one size fits all. But how do you think is the best way for the cooperative banks to move forward for this exceptional customer experience? How do you ensure a satisfied customer engagement?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, and someone mentioned here, Mr. Yogesh or Gopinath, we classify customers. See, there can be n number of classification for n number of objectives.
Right.
Here, when we are talking about, we classify customers based on their transaction pattern as digital, those who are transacting purely through digital medium. Then we classify physical, those who are visiting branch and performing all transactions through branch. And then we have one category, which is phygital, which use both mediums. Once in a while, they use check, and most of the times they use UPI or something of that sort. And we have seen a clear pattern for this three set of customers. Digital is the young one who uses UPI most. Their AQB may be on a lower side. Their age group median age is maybe 25-30. Similar is the case for phygital and physical customers. So our product offering and our communication, as I mentioned, for this three set of customer is totally different based on their engagement with us. And as Mr. Yogesh also mentioned, product per customer, we calculate product per customer, and then sometimes what happens, the CBS data is not enough, because most of the products which are available, third-party insurance, be it insurance, third-party, 3-in-1, trading account, mutual fund, credit card, gift card, NETC, this is out of system. So getting all data for one customer, product 360 degree, what we call it. So which we get product 360 degree for all this set of customers, and then we know to whom to sell what, cross-sell, upsell. So there is no cold calling happening at Saraswat. So we know to whom to reach for which product and when
Excellent,
and
excellent.
how.
I think that's very important. I mean, cold calls possibly, you bother and bog the customer more, but with a directed thing, when you know that it is going to be their need, it's a wow experience that you create for the customer. Now, Arpit, I think, unfortunately, has not been able to join. Arpit, are you there with us still? No, I don't think he's there. But just one last sweeping question to all of you, and in no particular order, you please feel free to answer. Many times, what people feel is, customer experience means only the things which are engaging or which are tangible with the customer. Say, for example, the mobile app or the communication or the messages that you're sending. But is that enough for a customer experience, or you also need to look at your backend processes and backend operations also? So I mean, could operational excellence be one of the factor for customer experience? Again, open question to all the three of you. Yes, Gopinath ji, we can start with you.
I would like to add here, because customer experience when it comes to a young generation, importantly, because we have to focus, most of the cooperative banks are lagging behind here.
Right.
Young millennials are not their customers. So we have to attract them and make them feel good, happy. We have to introduce some kind of a tools where we can onboard them with a simple self registrations and remote account opening within 5 minutes. Or with a few clicks, they can go for loan applications. Nowadays, instant P2P payments are available. For corporate customers, we can define a refined bulk payments where most of the technology adopted commercial banks are doing now. And automated bill payments, anyway, it is already available. Refined card management, as Yogesh said, blocking and unblocking with a simple way of SMS, and contactless payments with a higher level of security, and these are personal finance management, where the next area of engagement, where we can make the customers come to the bank or chat with the bank or have a relationship with the bank. A variety of loyalty programs we can introduce, a smart chatbot or a voice bot. One of the bank I visited, I would like to take their name, a city name bank. They have introduced first time a voice bot in India, where the customer can interact. Even we can adopt this for a senior citizen customers. Over the phone, over the voice, they can ask for a balance, they can ask for a fund transfer, or they can ask for facilities, a checkbook request, and all those things.
Yeah,
it's the easiest way.
They can do that. Yes.
Yeah, with the easiest way, we can introduce those are all the services where we can engage customers and retain the customers. That's the most important.
And more so, that can be in the local language also.
Yeah,
it need not be in English only.
Yes,
it can be in the vernaculars. Yes, absolutely. Well said.
I would like to say here, one of the major local transport service provider, I don't want to take their name. He is cross-selling health insurance and bank insurance. So now he's a transporter, he's selling insurance. In the future of the bank, it is just like a supermarket for finance, supermarket for all the products. You can verify with this. SBI is already adopted with their SBI they are cross-selling all the products. Just go to their platform, then initiate the transaction, you will get all the benefit. Additional kind of a benefit they are offering. So these are all the kinds of things where the banks has to do. And as I said, I am representing a non-scheduled cooperative banks. Here, the umbrella organization or a group of banks should come together and adopt the technology and move forward and retain the customers. That is the most important things.
Very well said. And though banking will continue to be the most regulated industry, I think we also need to learn, and possibly the regulator will also have to think of opening up and allowing us to, do if Amazon and Apple can get into banking, possibly it's time for banks also to look towards it. Yeah, Ajita and Yogesh, we don't have much time, but a quick take on from your end as well.
So, sir, as you rightly said, Vikrant sir, operational excellence is what we have to imbibe in our day-to-day banking, because everything is boiling down to turnaround time. How fast and how accurate I'm able to service my customer. So, where we are talking about customer relationship, we also have to work to a large extent to our back offices, and how many processes are like mundane processes which we can automate so that we can enhance our turnaround time and we can spare that staff hours for better customer relationships. So I think that is the key focus area that we will be working on. And at our Dombivli Nagari Bank, what we started is a small activity, that 15G 15H, for which every time there is a huge crowd or turnaround at the branch, what we did is we automate that activity. You just sign and within 2 minutes you are done. So that kind of small processes which are sensitive for customers, especially for senior citizens. If you give them automate, sir, this is what you have, just sign it and you are done. So I think that kind of culture we'll have to build at the banks. Thank you.
Very well said. Very well said. An excellent use case you have given, Yogesh. Thank you so much. Ajita, your final take from your end before I sum up.
Yeah, as Yogesh rightly mentioned, customer service without product, service, and operational efficiencies will not work unless you have strong, relevant products to be offered to the customer. See, customer service end of the day is what you are serving customer what he or she wants. So you need to have continuous cycle of product development, and you need to bring in official operational efficiencies. Otherwise, customer service won't work that way. So efficiencies at all levels are required, are must.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, friends, I don't think we have much time left for elaborated discussion, and discussions can go on, and there could be multiple use cases that are there. But the final point where I would like to drive everyone is, I was in one of the discussion, I was moderating one of the panel in a physical session, and Mr. Gautam Thakur was present there. And what Mr. Thakur mentioned there was, he said, Vikrant, if we want to, ensure that cooperative banks remain relevant and the trust of the customer remains in us, then we need to ensure that we as a bank offer the best of services and we lead by example. And he also mentioned how Saraswat Bank could turn their book size of 7 crores to 7,000 crores of retail to 12,000 crores of retail just by looking their internal processes and ensuring that what offering they are making to the customers. That again is a very live example of what and how best things can actually work out. Now, having said that, we also need to come out of the mindset and have more of cooperativeness among the cooperatives, because there are many banks who are able and who are willing to offer the services to other smaller banks. But most importantly, I would like to congratulate Babu Nair and the entire team of Banking Frontiers. What they are trying to do is they are trying to create almost a sandbox where cooperative banks can partner with fintech companies, and we will be absolutely able to deliver all the necessary services on the go. So whether you talk of digital onboarding of customers, you talk of a 2-minute sanction of loan to a customer, you talk of the initiatives like Yogesh mentioned on the IT certificates, the forms that you need to fill in, the interactions that you need to have, the bots that you want to have, the entire gamut of the fintech offerings. Now, the most important is people are now moving from hyper personalization to gamification into the apps. And that also is something cooperative banks need not wither and shy away, because there are fintech companies who are ready to help and partner out there. And we need not wait for the regulators to create a sandbox. Babu Nair and his team are already doing that for us. I think it's the question of having the right mindset to get and connect to the people. So thank you very much, Babu, from the entire fraternity of the cooperative banking space, the initiative that you're creating to create a sandbox where cooperatives and fintech can join hand in hand. I would over to you, Babu, if you just want to quickly tell the audience about the new initiative that you have. Thank you so much, panelists, and over to you, Babu.
Thank you, Vikrant, and thank you everyone for such a wonderful conversation. Ultimately, no conversation is complete unless and until we have some actionable steps to be taken in that at the end of that discussion. Okay. One important thing is, see, the sandbox is not something that I have done, but I am wanting to do it very closely with all of you. Okay. It doesn't work if I want to do it. I am not a banker, and it is of zero use to me if I am trying to do it all. It is a cooperative effort that we should try to create. Again, we know that all cooperatives are non-cooperative, so we have to bring in the cooperations with the cooperatives to get that, banking. The second thing is there are a lot of very interesting people who run sandboxes all over the world. And why don't we take some clues from them and set up this sandbox? The sandbox should be set up by a systems integrator, because I am not a systems integrator, nor am I a technologist. All we do is we have been engaged with so many technologies and so many bankers that one look at it and we will know that this will run, this will not run. And we have friends like Vikrant who can guide us. So the idea is to do that. And apart from that, we also want to look at not just today, but the future. Today we are talking about WhatsApp chatbot. Is WhatsApp chatbot the end thing? No. Because WhatsApp can be like how TikTok was banned in India. If there is something that happens to WhatsApp, what is the next? So it is an API integration that is more important. How you integrate that API and make it good for the organization. Ultimately, we don't have to talk too much about technology. Technology is just that facilitator. What we need to do is we need to bring that customer to the center stage, and anything that he needs has to be created with technology that is available. And that technology, we should create a neutral environment where we should keep testing it as a bouncing wall, so that that bouncing wall is a sandbox. Ideally, it should be the umbrella organization who should set that, sandbox, so that the cooperative banks can be sure that none of their data is compromised, none of their, compliance standards are the same, and once it is come to an extent that it can be effectively used. So this is what my plan is, and let us try to see how we can make this a reality. And let us try to find out what can be done. And of course, friends like Vikrant are there.
Thank you so much, Babu. And last concluding note from my end, in one of the discussions I was having with Mr. Satya of TJSB, and he said, Vikrant, it's not the question of the ability, it's the question of the will that the bank need to execute. And if you have the will, the ways are already there. It's just the question of, connecting the dots, and we will definitely be able to reach the destination, whether it be the cloud technology, whether it be the customer experience, the profitability, or the entire gamut of banking. Thank you very much, audience, for your time. Absolute pleasure connecting with you. Thank you, panelists, and do looking forward for such more interactive sessions in days to come. Thank you so much, Babu. Over to you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Banking Frontier.
Thank you. Thank you.